What up? K-Rug, Soberdogs.com. Please hit that like and that subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Help me get more addiction information out there to everybody. Straight to it. The burning question so many friends and family have. Why can't addicts just stop using drugs? Why can't they just put it down and move on with their life? I wish it was that simple. I would love if it was that simple. There'd be so many people not going through pain and dying. When a person is in the grips of addiction, their brain and their body are literally screaming at them, you need this, or you can't survive. You can't function, you can't do anything you would normally do without your chemical or whatever you are addicted to. It literally becomes part of our body. It becomes part of our brain chemistry. We use it, and our brain and our body don't function normally without it. People don't like when I use this analogy sometimes, but it's so accurate. Just like insulin for a diabetic. If a diabetic has low blood sugar, doesn't feel good, and they get their insulin, they feel better. Many times it's life-saving for them. They need it. When an addict doesn't have their chemical, their body and their brain is saying, you will die, you will not function, you will not survive if you do not have it. Now, many drugs, you won't die if you don't have it. Some you will. Alcohol, benzos, you could die from benzo, alcohol withdrawal. Heroin withdrawal, very hard to die from heroin withdrawal. But your brain and your body are telling you you will, so you don't know it at the time. You literally feel like you are going to die. Basically, addiction can be defined as the inability to abstain from a substance, activity, or thing. Repeated use causes altered brain chemistry and the phenomenon of craving. Addiction is considered a brain disease because it alters a person's brain chemistry. The brain of an addict will rewire itself to seek this behavior even though negative consequences are associated with it. Even if everyone else can see the cycle of destruction and everything that's going on, the person's brain and body pretty much push that aside because they need it. That's the addiction definition, just as the National Health Council describes it. It's very hard for non-addicts to comprehend, so that's why I think that insulin one is a very good way to describe it. Now, I've woken up so many times and said, I'm not going to use today, I'm not going to use today, I'm not going to use today, and I mean it. And there's thousands of addicts that have too. We wake up and we mean it. We want to be sober today. We do not want to use. And this is after, a day. This is after we use the day before, weeks, months prior. I'm not just saying somebody who's been in recovery for 10 years. But we'll wake up, I'll use, and then I'll be like, tomorrow I'm done. Okay, I'm done using drugs. I genuinely mean it. Here's what happens. First, the cravings kick in. Cravings, you can see the post I put up on Cravings. Every atom in my body is telling me I need to get high. You need this. You won't survive today without it. You won't function without it. Any task, any normal task that you wouldn't even think twice about. I gotta go wash the car. Your body and brain say, nope, can't do it unless we get high. Can't do it unless we get high. You need it. You need it. You need it. Get high, then we wash the car. Get high, then we take the kids to school. Get high, then we go to work. That is what our brain is screaming at us. Second part is the lack of function, being fuzzy. This to me is like a hangover, basically. Like if you go to work with a really bad hangover and you can't focus, you want to get the hell out of there, you don't know what's going on, you might start this task and not finish. That's how my brain starts to feel. Let's say maybe 15 hours after my last use. I'm getting fuzzy. I'm not working normal because I don't have the chemical, the drug that I need, that I use every day. Third thing is associations. I walk my dog almost every day, the same street. See the same houses, same cars, same people, no big deal. That day I wake up and I say, I'm not using today, I'm going to be good. Every house I see reminds me of a house I used to get high in. Every car I see, I've gotten high in a car that looked like that before. I'll wake up and I'll smell the coffee, which I smell every morning and is no big deal. But this morning, now that I'm in the beginning of withdrawal, this morning the coffee reminds me, oh, remember a year ago that one time I got high at Dunkin' Donuts? Oh, every single thing that I see, smell, taste, look at reminds me of somewhere, sometime I've gotten high. So now my brain's throwing past memories at me and associations at me. The fourth attack is depression, anxiety. When you use these drugs, for me it was heroin and cocaine, these drugs create, the high. They shoot all these feel-good chemicals into your brain. That's why we get the high euphoric effect. So if I'm using these drugs every day and it's pumping my brain full of, endorphins and serotonin, these feel-good chemicals, and then I stop, that whole time my brain started to tell itself, oh, I don't need to make these chemicals anymore or as much anymore because we're getting a ton of them from an outside source. So now I abruptly stop. It's not like your brain just goes back to normal. No, you go way down. It could take months, years for your brain to start making these feel-good chemicals again. So you are super depressed, anxious, miserable. And when I say super depressed, I mean to the point of food, sex, normal things, my dogs, children, things that make you happy, going and playing, getting outside, working out. Zero pleasure. Zero pleasure. All I can think about that will bring me pleasure is getting high. And the fifth thing is the physical symptoms, the withdrawal symptoms. Diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, cold sweats, hot sweats, stomach cramps, restless leg, you name it, it's hitting you. The flu symptoms times 10. So an addict might be genuine and say, I'm not using tomorrow. They might wake up and say, I'm done, I'm not using today. And they mean it. But these 5 things slowly start to attack them all day. Boom, 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 boom. Cravings, associations, boom, depression, withdrawal. All day, all day, all day. And it beats down on them, and their brain and their body are saying, what the hell is going on? We need this chemical or we can't survive. We can't function. Give it to us now, now, now. That is why it's so hard to just stop. It is so hard. Chemical treatment, treatment facilities, programs, AA, NA, 12 steps, these things are all great, and that's why they help, because you need help. No one will get clean unless they want to. That is a fact. But when that person wants to and they are ready, that's why it's so important to have a community, to have, I'm not a doctor. Make sure you have a medical professional that knows what's going on, that could guide you, especially if you're going to do a chemical detox. Do not just go buy shit on the street, please. But that's why addicts can't just stop out of the blue. I wish they could, but it is like oxygen to them. Their whole body and brain put the drug above everything else and say, you cannot survive without this today. Hopefully that helped clear it up for some people. I did a whole post on this on Soberdogs.com. It's the first post, why addicts can't just stop using. You could read up a lot more info on this. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. You're all awesome. Anyone out there struggling, feel free to, hit me up. I'm on all the social medias, Instagram, Soberdogs Recovery on Facebook, whatever. Email me. My email's right in the website, soberdogs2@gmail.com. Whatever. I will try to help out any way I can. And if someone in your life is struggling with addiction, please have patience with them. Don't enable them, but have patience and try to understand and work on your own health. Many times somebody with addiction, they will destroy everyone around them's lives because it's a terrible disease. So if one of your loved ones is struggling with addiction, make sure you keep yourself and your own health in check too. Because, we're no good to anybody else if we can't keep our own selves in check. If I don't keep my own sobriety good today, I can't help out other people struggling. All right, everybody, hit that like, that subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thank you all. Peace.